Good morning, class. This is Dr. Kelly. I'm teaching the semester History 2053.004, which is Texas history. It's good to have you. There's about 200 of you in this class. I welcome all of you. I hope you enjoy the class. I know many of you think you won't enjoy the class, and that why do you have to take Texas history? Why are you being punished and being forced to take Texas history? I'm going to catch and can change a lot of your minds. I think I do every semester, and I fully expect to do so this semester. Texas history is really fascinating, and it's extremely important, not only to your lives, but to the United States, to Mexico, and to the global community as well. Texas is a fascinating, important, and a very, very complicated place. And it's a lot of fun. Now, most of all in this semester, we'll be getting until the 1880s. So we're not going to get into 20th century Texas. I'm actually going to go deeper into the past of Texas. I'm going to talk a lot about the Spanish era, the Texas Revolution, which is a very contested era, the Comanche, the indigenous groups in Texas, what happened with them, slavery in Texas, and what I think is the most colorful and fascinating period of Texas history. Now, let me stop for a second. If you're triggered in any way by discussions about slavery, if you find it difficult to face the past and the reality that there was slavery in Texas and that it's left an indelible mark on the history of race relations in Texas to this very day, not only Texas, of course, but in the entire United States. If that's something that you find very, very difficult to deal with, you should probably drop the course and take another course. And if you can't get into another course this semester, takes another professor next semester. We're going to be talking a lot about slavery, and my discussions about slavery are going to be backed up by evidence. I'm just not going to sit here and prattle on about slavery. I'm going to present quite a bit of evidence to you about the importance of slavery in Texas and the consequences of slavery in post-Civil War Texas, when slavery ended, but racial oppression didn't end. And I'm also going to talk about racism against Mexican Americans as well. Now, I'm from Texas. My great-great-great-grandfather fought in the Civil War. He actually fought for the Confederate Army. He died of strep throat somewhere in Tennessee, poor guy. They couldn't get him home, and he died kind of a miserable death. So I'm from Texas. I'm not some outsider that's coming down here to tell Texans how to think. I'm one of you, or I'm a Texan anyway, and I'm just going to present the historical evidence on issues of race in Texas. And if that's hard for you to deal with, take another course. Okay, now in this podcast, I am going to talk about, and I'll record a couple of podcasts. I'm a big believer that podcasts that are over 10 minutes long, students start to tune out. Same with lectures, actually. I'm going to talk about how the courses run, how you're going to be graded, which I know for many of you is really the most significant question you have on the first day of class, and how the material is going to be presented. I'm also going to talk about week one's material and how to do well in this course. So that's the origins, or that's the point of this podcast. You can see, the first thing I want to say is you can see, if you've got a screen, I have a map of Texas on the screen. I'm recording this on Zoom and putting it on YouTube. So there's the beautiful shape of Texas as we know it today, without a doubt, the coolest shape of any state in the country. No state even comes close. Think about how many times you see the shape of Texas every day. You see it in on legal documents. You see it as you drive down the road. The shape of Texas is ubiquitous. And one of the things that visitors from the Northeast who come down to visit my family, they're always amazed by how many Texas flags are always flying. I don't have to tell you that Texans are very proud of Texas and of the state of Texas. When I went up to school up in New York City at NYU, and people knew within 5 minutes I was from Texas. I really wore it on my sleeve. So I'm a proud Texan. I'm not an uncritical Texan, but I'm definitely a proud Texan. I want to show you another map real quick, though. One of the things that we're going to talk about in this course is Mexico, especially northeastern Mexico, because of the long history between northeastern Mexico and Texas. So I'm especially going to talk about the Mexican states of Tamaulipas, Nuevo Leon, and Coahuila. So look how, it's kind of interesting. So if you look at Texas, here's the map of Texas. Look, Mexico, it's just some undifferentiated mass. Well, after you take this course, when you look at Texas now, you're going to be aware of Mexico too. Chihuahua, we won't talk about Chihuahua as much, but we'll talk about Coahuila, Nuevo Leon, and Ciudad Victoria. So I'm going to expand this course into Mexico, because Mexican history and Texas history are so intertwined. They always have been, they are now, and they will be for the foreseeable future, for better or for worse. Okay. Now, let me start by talking about the syllabus. And this is an online course. It's fully online. I'll be posting weekly modules that have the course content every week. And those modules will be posted by Monday at noon. I'll work really hard to have them done by Monday at noon. I know a lot of you work. I know a lot of you have families. One of the beautiful things about online courses is it gives you maximum flexibility. Now, that's also one of the issues with online courses. You just have to be disciplined and do the work. You can't blow it off and wait till the last second. What I suggest is that you get into some kind of pattern or some kind of flow where you decide what I'm going to study history, 2 hours on Wednesday, or an hour on Friday, or an hour on Monday, that you create some kind of pattern for yourself about when you're going to study the material that I'm asking you to look at, as well as do the reading. That will really help you in this course if you can pull that off. I know it can be difficult. A lot of you are first-year students, although I shouldn't have too many entering students in this class because we're in the spring semester. Most of you are vets of at least one semester. And hopefully you're learning how to perform well in college. So what I think I'm going to wind down this podcast now and then get into the syllabus. I don't want to bombard you with too much detail in any particular podcast. And I'll just kind of break down the information in a couple of podcasts and do it in a more relaxed and kind of leisurely way.